It's week 5 and we are live. The NFL is officially in week 5. That means bye weeks begin this week. We got waiver wire targets we're going to talk about, and we're going to recap week 4. We got the top 10 players right here on What's Your Fantasy. Stick around, smash that like button. Let's get it popping. Hey, look. Ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy be the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezy, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure, the number one team. Let the world know what's your fantasy. What's going on? What's your fantasy crew? Welcome to this week's episode. Peachy, what's going on, man? Another fantasy show recap that we get to sit back and just kind of reminisce on the old days when we used to be dominant and we knew what the fuck we were doing. It's weird. It's a weird time for fantasy football. Like, I've never seen, like, my team's so depleted I can't even make a trade because the only players I had to trade are no longer going to be on my team anymore.
Nope.
So it's gonna be a rough. It's only week 5 too. Only week 5. We got people. Shout out to Brandy. Paul's in the building. We got some people in here. Yeah, I can't see your name because it's too small, so I gotta blow it up on here, man. Shout out to Andy's BK. Andy's BK. Whatever. I give up. But shout out to you. Hey, look, you see what he coming here and says, I forgot my dinner. I did not. I was stuck in traffic because they decided at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time that they were going to take a 4-lane highway and make it into 1 lane. Pete, you ever experience anything like that when you drive, or is it just me?
No, we have that exact same thing here in lovely Chattanooga.
I don't know if there's ever a right time to work on the highway roads.
No.
But I feel like if I'm out at 2 or 3 in the morning, then that's on me. My ass shouldn't be out. But at 8:00 at night, when I'm trying to get home to make a 9:00 show, they can wait. You know what I mean?
You would seriously think.
I knew he was from Brooklyn. What did I say? I didn't say the Bronx, did I? I said BK.
Yeah.
Okay. Represent Queens.
My whole thing is I 100% agree with you. If you're out running around at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you get what you get. And that's the best time for them to work on that stuff is during those hours instead of primetime hours, because that's what I call those. I call those primetime hours.
Ooh.
And a lot of people go shopping. If you're on the East Coast, that's when a lot of people do their shopping around that time. Finish everything up. If you're out somewhere in like church service or whatever it may be, you're usually on your way home. So you don't need to do that. That's primetime hours. You should do that after hours. You should do that when, everybody's supposed to be chill and, asleep, or at least, at home, staying out of trouble. So everything will be, what I'm saying? It's just, but the same thing is happening in my city right now. So.
Well, coming soon to a city near you, they're going to be working and shutting down the 4-lane highway into 1 lane. So listen, just, if you're in your car, make sure you're listening, not watching. Make sure you're listening to the show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. Also, for updates, fantasy football updates, you guys got to go follow us on IG at What's Your Fantasy FB. FB stands for football. All right, so make sure you do that, because we're going to be putting out all the updates, injury updates, stop people not playing update, just updates. We're just going to update you. That's what the page is all about, all right? Now, speaking of updates, let's talk about the bye week. We got the Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, and the Steelers. Oh, my. Okay. I got to talk about these teams because there were players from these teams that had, like, phenomenal weeks. And I think they did it because they knew they were going on a bye.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I mean, Bijan Robinson, love you, man. But you waited until it was bye week. You know what I'm saying? Drake London, I didn't even know you played in the NFL. And then on the bye week, getting into the bye week, you were like number one receiver. I just can't figure it out. The Bears, even though did the Bears lose? The Bears won. The Bears won. They beat the Raiders. Anyway, they had Roman Dunze is killing in the NFL. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I passed up on him in the draft.
Me too.
And then the Packers just have the best no-name wide receivers of all time. Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Hicks, Matthew Golden. Hell, Christian Watson not even playing. He probably catching touchdown passes.
You mean Dobbs, Marvin the Marsh?
Do you get what I'm saying? He use about the big helmet. That's unfortunate. I don't want to laugh at him. That's a concussion thing. You know, I don't want to laugh, but that is kind of funny. He does look like Marvin the Martian. If he wears a dark visor, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay, back to the Packers. Josh Jacobs had probably his best game all season. All right. And then the Steelers, Kenneth Gainwell. If you picked up Kenneth Gainwell the moment Jaylen Warren went out and he was available, you cashed in.
Actually won my league because of Mr. Kenneth Gainwell. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Let me tell you what my dumb ass did. I picked him up so nobody else would get him, and I didn't put him in. I've got to be the worst fantasy football owner of all time. Who would have knew? Pittsburgh don't even run the ball well. And you put him in. We told you to get him. I did get him. And he cashed in.
Also told you about how hokey overseas games can be.
Speaking of that, we got an overseas game this week that we're going to have to look into.
We sure do.
London. Now they're going to England. What's an England phrase? What's something they say in England? We didn't do the Dublin phrase in Ireland because I don't have the Irish accent, but the English we'll figure out something English to say. But yeah, they're gonna be playing in London. So, guys, if you have any of these players, if you're watching this show and you have any of these players, okay, on your roster, you may want to remove them from your starting lineup. Right. If not, it's gonna be a big fat 0.
Yes.
Throughout that week. All right. So, Peachy, we have to do the worst part of the show. It's the most informational part of our show. We have to get to the injury report.
Yes, we do.
And
what is your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie is when you draft Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill in the same draft. That is it. I'm fudged. I'm all f***ed up, Peachy. Like, I lost both of my wide receivers. And so I'm going to ask you, what do I do? I'm asking for advice. Anybody out there got advice?
Yeah.
What's up, Sonia?
Hey, Sonia. You guys, any advice that you got, put it in the comments. Man, I don't know. Good Lord.
And Tyreek wasn't even having a good season.
Right.
He just started to have a great game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, he back.
Of course.
And they're going to trade him to the Chiefs. And I'm not trying to laugh. Those were some severe injuries. They both looked, well, the ACL it didn't look as gruesome. It just didn't look as serious for Malik Neighbors. But the Tyreek Hill injury was ugly to watch. Ooh. I mean, you actually saw the leg bend in a way that it wasn't supposed to. I would show you, but I don't want to show you guys.
No.
These two players are going to be out for the season. Any good news on Tyreek Hill, though, right? Like, it's not as severe. It's not. Let me take that back. He's going to miss the rest of this season. But it's a potential. He can potentially be back for the beginning of 2026 season. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they they basically were able to repair everything in one surgery. What they thought at first that he was going to have several surgeries at different times, and that's what was going to hold him out longer than coming back at the beginning of the 2026 season was going to be, his recovery from all the different surgeries that they thought was going to have. But once they got in there, cleaned everything up, they realized, okay, this is not as bad as they thought it was. So they were able to repair everything, fingers crossed, that he doesn't have any setbacks or anything, and he should be ready to go for 2026. Now, I have to tell you guys this because it's hilarious. Even if there's Dolphins fans in here, oh well. they were talking about him because he was laughing and he was smiling when he left and when he was in the hospital. And I said last night, and I told Breezy, I said, I think he's just in shock. And, that's what happened. But other people said that it was at me because he doesn't have to play for the Dolphins.
So I just, the Dolphins, they're not really that bad. Like, when I say that, I mean as far as the franchise, right?
Right.
Like, if it was the Browns, the Raiders, it would have, but they are him, and you could tell that him and Tua are disconnected, and so I think he wanted to get out of there, and I think they were going to trade him. I think by the trade deadline, I think the Chiefs might have looked to try to get him back in Kansas City because the Chiefs are going to get back into a groove. They're getting back into their groove. They got Xavier Worthy back,
Yes,
so
they
you guys got to look to get him back in your lineup. And Rashee Rice will be back soon. So their offense is going to look a lot different with those two key pieces back. And I could see them I could have seen them trying to go after a guy like Tyreek Hill. But hey, he probably was smiling because he was like, oh, this shit is over. Like, I'm done in Miami.
It was so hilarious because that's what people were saying. They were like, he was so happy he didn't know what to do to not have to play for the Dolphins this season.
Sonia said that was a weird reaction. I thought the reaction was, I don't know, like some men are different. Some men want to cry, but they don't want you to see them cry. And I felt like he was gonna hit that cry moment, and in order to get over that moment, he just smiled. It was the only thing best for him to do, and he didn't just smile like he was cheesing and giving the thumbs up. And so that was dope because I know me. The moment I would have been like that, but the moment I saw somebody like be sentiment, like tear up, I would have broke down crying. Like, cause I know I can't even imagine the amount of pain he was in. I mean, he literally saw his leg look like one of those scary characters. You ever see The Ring?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about with The Ring and the
Yeah.
I'm bad. I just made this sound effect. My bad for those that are watching. It's Halloween. I mean, it's October. You know?
It is. It's it definitely is. Oh, and not to mention that Mr. Tyreek Hill is also walking away with over $72 million in guaranteed insurance money.
I hope they took out the insurance policy on him like the 49ers did.
Right.
If not, Mike McDaniels didn't learn well. He should have stayed his ass in the Bay. Any other significant injuries, though, Peach? Because I know there's a bunch.
Yeah, there is some. Okay, so let's start with quarterback real quick. We're just going to run through these. Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Why do I feel like he was the quarterback? I got to check. Go ahead, keep going. I'll cut in.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, as we know, he's probably going to be out for about 2 or 3 weeks, people. So I'm just giving you the bad news ahead of time so that you know. He's definitely not playing this week. Jaden Daniels was able to log practices, but did not gain
Jalen Hurts,
clearance
my
enough
quarterback in that league,
to participate in weeks 4. So hopefully he'll be back for week 5. JJ McCarthy is still out from that ankle injury.
He's still not going to play?
He's still not going to play.
Nah, that's
Carson
tough.
Wentz is still gonna.
So you might
play.
want to pick up Carson Wentz at this point.
And if you think about it, though, because the Vikings are still overseas, then it makes sense because
Because now they'll be
JJ
settled
didn't
in.
travel with them.
No, JJ did travel with
Oh,
them.
he did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
But to your point, the Vikings are still overseas,
Right.
which means now they've settled in.
Yes.
And even though they got to play Cleveland, Cleveland's coming in as the home team.
Yeah.
That might be a good game for Carson Wentz, even though he's got to go up against that furious, that defensive
I'm telling you.
line.
And
I
that
wouldn't start
defense
Jordan
is
Mason
no
this week. I
joke.
tell you that.
Amen to that. That was actually like my sit. Because that's a good idea to do that. And then as far as running backs to go, Joe Mixon, who was placed on the reserve injury list.
We got
or
a Joe
whatever,
Mixon sighting? What's going on?
is eligible to return to practice this week.
That mother. I was just getting into Woody Marks. Sit your ass down, man. They don't need you. No, they do. They need Joe
But
Mixon.
Woody Marks, it looks like he is ascending past Nick Chubb.
I don't know if he's
So-
ascending. Nick Chubb's still getting the snaps, but hopefully
Yeah, but Marks.
he's got the
Marks is-
explosive plays. It's almost like
Right.
Garendo to Christian. It's almost like that.
It's a good point. You're right about that. Tyrone Tracy, who was expected to miss multiple games in the shoulder injury, was ruled out for week 4.
Yeah.
But he's not been ruled out for week 5, but it's not looking good for him for week 5 either. So
I
you guys
dropped
keep
his
that in
ass.
mind as far as it goes. Tajay Spears.
Oh,
is
he's
expected
eligible to
make
return.
his season debut
That's
in
right.
week 5.
That's right. I wonder if that change. Tennessee is trash. I'm sorry.
They're straight
They're just
trash.
terrible.
They are.
They're just terrible.
And then, as Breezy told you about the news about Mr. Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill, Mr. Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings
Oh, questionable.
are both questionable. So keep an eye on that. And there'll be updates on the fantasy page as well about those two as we get more clarification with this being a short week. Who knows what's going to happen as they play on Thursday Night Football.
And Brock Purdy's questionable too with the toe
Yes.
injury. So
Yes, he is.
if you have
Right
Brock
about
in
that.
your lineup, this may just not be the season for Brock. Like this might be to where that toe injury is going to be nagging
I'm telling you.
all season long.
Yeah.
And I wish they just come out and tell us if it's full blown turf toe.
God, please do that. Terry McLaurin is expected back
Okay.
Thank
okay. Him and Jaden
goodness.
Daniels, that would be great.
for week 5. That would be wonderful.
Because I don't think I picked the Commanders to win this week. They're playing the Chargers out on the road.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what you have. Thank goodness, knock on wood, not really any tight end things to worry about that you guys don't already know about. And that's what we got.
All right, let's get to our top 10 players of the week. These dudes scoring, man. Look,
Oh, I know.
like Puka Nacua put up 36 points.
Yes.
This dude is like the leading pass catcher in the league, man. Like
No.
Puka Nacua, and I know why Peachy's growing and then moaning over there. We got to play these cats. And this dude is just tearing the NFL up. You know what made me leery on Puka, though?
What?
He was injured a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you drafted him last year. You knew what he was going to be used for. And then it was just like, if he's going to have another injured season, you couldn't waste a high draft pick. Whoever drafted Puka Nacua is cashing in. He's wide receiver, like damn near number 1, if I'm not mistaken. This dude is balling right now.
Yes.
So Puka Nacua with 36 points. Ashton Jeanty. We got an Ashton Jeanty sighting in the top 10, ladies and gents. Finally, Ashton Jeanty, 33 and a half points. They still lost, but 33 and a half points for Ashton Jeanty. And you know, he's their leading back, right? And they just got to start featuring him a little bit more in the pass catching game.
Yep. You're right
But
about that.
if he continues to get the reps, he's only going to continue to be in these top scoring every single week, Peach, because this kid, to me, is their offense.
This right here is funny. Hold on, Breezy. Because I feel her pain. So
She says, I was up
this.
against Puka, Amarian Hampton, and Cook. So I got trashed.
She got thrashed.
Like, I
It was so bad.
wait a minute, put that list up again.
There you
Yeah, so James Cook might be the best running back in the league right now. And then you have Puka as the best receiver, and Amarian Hampton. These rookies, he's heating up. I'll leave it on that. I'll leave it at that. He's definitely heating up for sure. So yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. At least you didn't lose Tyreek Hill and Malik Neighbors. And wait. So check this out, right? So I lost. Y'all think I'm bullshit. I lost Tyreek. Y'all can't see it because I lost Tyreek Hill and Malik Neighbors in my big money league, right? And I only lost by 13 points. If Antonio Brown could show the freak up, just I don't know what the freak is going on, Antonio Brown, but he's struggling this year. But I had
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Sorry, I see Antonio in the chat, so
I got you.
threw me off.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, he's struggling. I wish it was Antonio Brown. He never struggled.
I was fixing to say if it's Antonio Brown, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
That kept cashed in.
AJ
Brain or no
Brown.
brain? AJ Brown.
I'm wondering about him before the trade deadline.
Do I put him on the trade block? Like,
I have a feeling with the problems that AJ Brown is having with the organization, I would not be shocked if he was not on the trade block before the trade deadline.
I would trade AJ Brown for CeeDee Lamb and a hurt CeeDee Lamb right at this point, and just deal with CeeDee Lamb being hurt for the next couple of weeks. Because I don't know what I'm getting from AJ Brown. And if Antonio Brown decided to come out of retirement, I'd draft him. I pick him up on the waiver wire. Let's get back to these top 10.
Okay.
Speaking of Cowboys receivers, George Pickens, 30, and we said on the waiver wire, pick up Jalen Tolbert,
Yep.
but we said that George Pickens was going to have a day. 33.4 points for Mr. Pickens out there. Kid has emerged into a number one receiver without CeeDee Lamb out there on the football field. So, that's who I have on my bench in that league. So he's going to become my starter to replace Malik Neighbors, unfortunately. Number
There you
4,
go.
Josh Jacobs, up here on the list, 31.7 points. He cashed in as well. Number 5, Kenneth Gainwell. This is what Peachy told everybody to pick up last week. On the waiver wire target, Kenneth Gainwell, 31.4 points. Speaking of Cowboys, ain't no way Dak Prescott made this list. 31 points. In a game in which they tied with the Packers. They tied this game, but Prescott was balling. I'm going to keep it a buck. Prescott was definitely balling out. Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver on this list, 29.8 points. Wide receiver 3 in week 4 of the NFL, 29.8 points. 2 touchdowns for him. He continues to just be Jordan Love's guy. I don't know who Jordan Love's guy is, but he always finds Dobbs. Like I don't get what it is. Justice Hill, remember this name, Justice Hill. I have something phenomenal to say about Justice Hill. I hope he made the waiver wire target pickup. I know no one owns him for sure, but 28.7 points for the Baltimore Ravens running back. And with Lamar Jackson being out, they're probably going to lean on the run game a little bit more. Peachy, who is the backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens?
Cooper Rush.
Thank you. Just needed to know. Cooper Rush, former Cowboy. And there he is, Bijan Robinson at number 9 with 28.1 points. Explosive play for this kid, and he found the end zone. Kid is dynamic. Atlanta's a weird team. They're on their bye week as well as the Packers, but he definitely did his thing and balled out. And here's a name you want to start making yourself familiar with because they're starting to feature him in the pay. He had 5 targets last week. They're featuring him in the receiving game. He had explosive plays. Woody Marks, 27.9 points. PG already said that it sounds like he's ascending over Nick Chubb. If the kid continues to get explosive plays, I agree. Keep your eyes on, because they need all the help on the offense that they can get.
Lord, yes.
That offensive line is asinine and it's terrible. And they got to get the ball. CJ Stroud has to find ways to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Nick Chubb is not your pass catching running back. He is. And when Joe Mixon returns, that could be a nice, trio of
Yes.
who you're going to use for CJ Stroud. So we'll see how that pans out. But those are your top 10 scoring fantasy PPR scoring leaders of the week. Whew, that was a lot. That was going through those. Who's your surprise on this list?
My surprise on this list is actually Dak Prescott.
Really?
Out of all the quarterbacks, or whatever, it's Dak. But after watching the game, and I mean, he did ball out in this game. I was shocked because I thought Green Bay had this vaunted defense and everything, and that, they were going to hold, Dallas to, barely anything, because they didn't look like they had a vaunted defense whenever they played Dallas when they played them, though. That's all I'm saying.
So crazy, man.
It was wild. I didn't see any defense from either side.
No, they were giving up points like left and right.
Exactly.
I thought the weather was something. I didn't understand what happened to Green Bay's defense, and then Michael Parsons was all banged up. Mm-hmm. Something hurt with his back, and then he comes in and makes the play of the game to prevent Dak from getting in, to force the game to go into the end, right? Like yeah. It's so crazy, right? The end and the tie. So it's crazy, yo. It's super crazy. All right, Peachy. We got to get to these waiver wire targets, all right? So we're going to go quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, kicker, and defensive/special teams. I want you to talk about each one of these players that are on the waiver wire target. I'm not sure how many people picked up Jackson Dart, but Jackson Dart on the waiver wire target. Their next matchup is on the road in New Orleans. Is Jackson Dart versus going head to head with Spencer Rattler, two young quarterbacks in the NFL. What are your thoughts just on Jackson Dart? And if he's available, he should be QB1 to be picked up, right?
So I love Jackson Dart. Just watching him, this dude is really dynamic, and they're going to need him to be that way, especially with the loss of Malik Neighbors. So think about Dart in what he did, especially with his legs, what he was able to do. Just times that by like 10, because he's gonna have to do a whole lot more than he probably intended on doing. But this kid is special, and he's dynamic, and I can understand Dayball's decision. When you put your career on the line, you kind of let this kid get out there and do what he does. And that's basically what he's doing. They're basically dictating that offense. Against the Saints, he should have a really good game. I think he should be the top quarterback to pick up if he's available, because I looked in a lot of waiver wire, he's not there. So if you can still get him, grab him.
If there's another quarterback you would pick up that you think might be on the waiver wire, who you got?
Besides Dart?
Yeah. If he's unavailable, where you going?
You can try to get Sam Darnold or even Spencer Rattler.
Okay.
Because because on waiver wires I've seen, there's not that many left, because, sometimes in your leagues you have greedy people that like to pick up 3 and 4 premier quarterbacks.
I don't know if all those,
because they're greedy.
Yeah. You said premier ones. That's crazy. Premier? Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is crazy.
Just greedy and mean. That's what it is.
Wow. It'd be real like that, though. It'd be real. All right, so we got running back Justice Hill. He was actually running back 4 this week. So Justice Hill. Look, this is my theory on Justice Hill, Peachy. I don't know where they're going to get offense from without Lamar Jackson. He was a big part of their run game, big part of keeping that offense flowing to help the offense put up points. It just seems like later on in the games, Derrick Henry just runs out of gas. You can tell he's getting older, and he's run out of gas. He's a little bit more worn down. This is where you insert the young, vibrant, the fresh Justice Hill, who can get you the explosive. He gets the explosiveness out of the backfield. He's fast. And so I think Justice Hill, if he's available, this would be a great waiver wire target. If you're looking to pick up a running back this week, you might want to look at Justice Hill. Last week, he put up, again, 28.7 points. And I think you can expect to see that because Lamar didn't play after quarter 3. He was out, and Justice Hill continued to find ways to shine. And you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they have, I would say, a pretty tough matchup this week. I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win. I say tough because they're going up against a tough defense in Houston. But if you can keep Houston's defense on the football field, the Ravens may find a way to pull this one out. So Justice Hill will be that waiver wire target. And then another name from them, I don't know if Keaton Mitchell is still playing. He might, look, what's his name is not hurt. Derrick Henry is not hurt. But the change of pace for the Baltimore Ravens to add that quick, fast run game like Lamar Jackson would bring is the Justice Hill guy. You know,
I got you. My only thing I have to say is welcome back, Justice Hill, because he's literally making a comeback. So welcome back, Justice Hill. It's been a while. So he still has the capability of catching out the backfield. I mean, pretty much doing it all. Like, he's a really, really good option on the waiver wire, especially with a lot of you in the buys, and your running backs are probably on buys. So, if B-Rob is one of yours that
good point.
You need to find one for, Hill's a pretty good option. I do believe that the Texans defense and the Ravens defense, if you ask me, neither one of them is not playing any better than the other one right now. So I think that Hill could have another big game against Houston. And like you said, they're going to need him to with the absence of Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans' run defense is like top 12 in the league. They do stop the run. I mean, overall, their defense is top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as far as yards. So they're number 5. They're tied. Guess who they're tied with?
Probably Jacksonville.
They're tied with the 49ers.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
As far as yards per game.
This.
They're tied with the Niners as far as yards per game. And I guarantee you, guess where they are as far as points per game?
Where are they at?
They're first.
Yeah.
So their defense isn't bad. It's just that it's on the football field a lot. But they're only giving up 12.8 points per game. And there's no Lamar Jackson. See, that's the X factor. Because I feel like Lamar would help make plays for that team when they need a play. I didn't like the way Lamar Jackson looked the end of the game. Not this game, but the game but prior to that, the way that game. And he started to look a little different. But, hey, this is the change of pace back. They might be only looking to stop Derrick Henry. He's not easy to stop, but he runs out of gas, and that's where Justice Hill can come in and gash him. And since we're talking about the Houston Texans, let's go with the next running back. Because now let's talk about Woody Marks, another dynamic pass-catching back. There's no Joe Mixon this week. He's kind of playing that role of Joe Mixon as your pass catcher as well as your rusher. And, hey, this is another guy that put up 20-plus points at the running back spot, right? 27.9 points. This is great. First game, can we see consistency? Because it seems like every time we get these running backs and they have big weeks, they don't have the big week the second week. Right. So can we get consistency? What are your thoughts on Woody Marks out of Houston?
I just want to say that I think that he looked really good. And you're absolutely right about what you just said. Is he going to be able to duplicate that? Because a lot of times they don't. Whether it's just their game plan changes or, they want to try something else or whatever, it depends on what the defense gives you depending on how much they're going to utilize their running backs. But hopefully the Texans are still going to use him the same way because he looked dynamic and spry and definitely a great pickup if you can get him on the waiver wire.
I agree. The Ravens give up 33.3 points per game. They are the worst scoring defense in the NFL. And as far as we're talking about against the run, I mean, they used to be good against the run, but they're missing like 3 or 4 defensive starters, a couple of all pros on there. They're bottom of the barrel against the run. Let's see, 32nd, 31st, 30th, 29th, 28th. They're 27th against the run. Yeah. So this is this could be Houston on the road. They can find a way to win. Got to find a way to get the ball to this young man right here who can get those explosive plays. And for those that are watching the live show, if you're putting out your questions and stuff, put them in the chat. We'll definitely star them. We'll get to them at the end segment of the show. We got a whole segment show for questions and things. If trades, waiver wire pickups, whatever you guys got, put it in there. We got you, all right? So Woody Marks, that concludes our running backs. Marvin Mims had a big game for the Denver Broncos, and I think he'll be a nice, cool waiver wire target to pick up because he should still be available in most leagues. He put up 14.5 points last week. And this week, I believe the Broncos, they have, let's see what defense they got to deal with. Oh my gosh. They got to play the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They got to play the Eagles. And then the Eagles' pass defense is a little suspect. I feel like they got Quinyon Mitchell. He'll lock down their number one target in Cortland Sutton, which will free up a guy like this, Marvin Mims. What are your thoughts on Marvin Mims?
The only thing I have to say about this is that, Denver's starting to frustrate me because, here I think, Troy Franklin is going to be the one that's going to be in the zone and doing all these different things and whatever. And is going to be their new guy, besides Sutton, that he was going to be there. And here comes Mims.
Right. Right. I agree.
So, but it just depends on who Philly focuses on because they can't get all of them. So Mims may be the one that, is able to to get all the, hopefully he'll get all the receptions.
Receptions you want, yards, get him on some jet reverses. Yes. And those types of things. This kid is quick and dynamic.
Yeah, yes.
Out of the backfield.
I like him.
Peachy, with the injury to Malik Neighbors, next man up, Darius Slayton got a touchdown last week.
Yep.
Would you? He doesn't replace Malik Neighbors.
No.
But he's going to replace the role of Malik Neighbors. I have him as a waiver wire target. What are your thoughts on Darius Slayton?
I love Darius Slayton in this spot because you still have Wandale out there that teams are going to be zeroed in on. So I feel like that Slayton is going to be the one that Dart is going to be able to get to for more reception. I think this is a great waiver wire pickup. So if he's available and you need a wide receiver, a lot of them are on bye week this week, especially the Packers 8,000 ones.
You're funny.
I would definitely consider Slayton.
Yeah, and the Saints are like middle of the pack. Their pass defense is middle of the pack. And so this could be a good week for the Giants receivers.
You can score on them.
Yeah, especially if they're in sync with Jackson Dart. And I believe that they will be. So Darius Slayton. That concludes the wide receivers. Tight end. I mean, he's got to be the number one tight end on your waiver wire target. Is Darren Waller, Miami Dolphins. Finished the game with 2 touchdowns, put up 17.7 points. He's not going to get all the targets and the receptions, but they definitely look for him in the red zone. All right, this is where they're looking for. And Tua looked pretty damn good knowing that he had his best friend, a tight end, out there on the football field. What are your thoughts on Darren Waller being the number one tight end waiver wire target?
Man, the only thing that I have to say is this dude retired from the National Football League made a rap album, and then decided, oh, it's not working out. Let me let me go back and play some more football.
Yeah, he
And
went through a
came back
lot.
in
Yeah,
and just balling in the red zone.
he went through a lot though.
Yeah,
Like
he
something
did.
about the relationship he was in was all
Oh
jacked
yeah,
up,
yeah. It's a bunch of extra stuff, but
and he needed to go. He probably went on one of those Aaron Rodgers retreats.
he had to go find himself.
There it is. There it is. Well, he found himself in Miami,
Right.
and
In the red zone.
what do they call Miami? They don't call it South Bay, right? Like what do they call Miami?
South Beach.
South Beach. Found himself in South Beach, and he looked really damn good out there, and helped the Miami Dolphins get a dub. Right, get a dub. So Darren Waller is the tight end. Kicker. Look, I don't know if you got Chase McLaughlin, but at this point, this dude kicking 60-plus yard field goals, a 50-yard field goal, and they got a tough matchup against the Eagles. I don't know if the Eagles are going to give up these touchdowns, and if not, they're going to kick field goals. If Chase McLaughlin is available in your league, you might want to go snatch him up. What are your thoughts on Chase? And do you have another kicker that you feel could be a good waiver wire target?
So I think that Chase is an excellent waiver wire target. I actually have to find one because mine, Chris Boswell, is on the bye week. So therefore, I have to find one myself.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a few kickers out there because you just need one kicker on your roster. I mean,
Why not pick up Eddie Pinheiro?
you know what? Eddie Pinheiro is not available.
Are you serious? Yeah,
It's
because
not
when you play in the
available.
league with 49er players,
Exactly.
I mean, people, they go grab every 49er. I
Every
mean,
49er.
Mother freakers drafted Kyle
No,
Juszczyk,
too
yo.
bad.
Like, they drafted Kyle Juszczyk. They literally did. They
And they
drafted.
get what they get.
Yeah.
Because then
No, I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying, Steady Eddie. I like that name. Yeah, and I thought he would be available. I'm gonna go check and see if he's available because
he may be in some of your leagues. He's
Yeah,
just not in.
yeah.
And I thought that he was going to be there. I'm trying to think of one that might still be available out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the Broncos kicker?
Because
Because I cannot remember his name. You know what? Let me
We
just-
know his name.
I know.
Oh, Will Lutz.
Will Lutz. Yeah. Got you.
Lutz.
Hold on. Let me just look at something real quick.
Will Lutz.
Because,
He only had 4 points last week.
right. Let me see.
All right, so here's the kickers that are on a bye: Cairo Santos, Brandon McManus. Who else is on a bye week this week?
So it looks like that Andy's kicker, Schrader,
Schrader,
is
yeah.
available.
If he's available, he put up 10 points last week,
So
and
maybe Schrader. Maybe
if
I'll
you can
grab
get double-digit
Schrader.
points from a kicker, that is perfect.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And
Hey, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We
and who are
appreciate
the
it.
Colts playing this week? Oh, they playing the Raiders. This might be a kicking game.
I know it.
That Raiders defense is serious.
That's what I'm like. Do I see to hit Schrader?
So I like that. I like the
do.
Schrader pick because
Mm-hmm.
there's a possibility. If you could get Chase, I get Chase. Just because they're playing the Eagles and they're on
Right.
the road, and they might struggle to find offense. They're still a little banged up. I know they got Chris Godwin back, but they're still a little banged up, and they didn't look really good last week. They did fight to come back, but they didn't look as fluent last week. So we'll see what happens. All right, the defense, the number one defense, you got to pick up. I don't know. I'm the type of person that will switch my defense up every single week based off of circumstance. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But the matchup is it's the Cardinals versus the Titans. And I just don't think that the Titans will be able to find a way to generate enough offense. And Tennessee is traveling to Arizona. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals defense here as the number one waiver wire target. if you live like me on the edge and you rotate your defenses in week in and week out, you better pick up the Cardinals defense this week. Peachy, do you have a different defense that you like, or are you sold on this Cardinals defense, which is pretty good?
No, I actually agree with you on that one because I also have been doing that, and it seems to be working out a lot better. Going by more matchups than just rolling with the same defense week after week, because sometimes the defense just doesn't perform that well because of who they're playing against. So, because I did that with Seattle's defense when they were playing like the Saints and stuff like that, and was very profitable from it. So I'm glad that I did it.
And it's sometimes for some people. I mean, it's the floating position, is what Sonia calls it. She says I'm streaming kicker and defense. I put in a waiver for Arizona this week.
There you go.
I look at the matchups. I don't like to stream kickers. I do like to find a steady leg, and I just take my shot, my chances if I get a steady leg accuracy with the kicker. But kickers are missing all across the league. I'm really looking at those big leg kickers. I'm gonna be honest, and there's a couple of kickers that I stick with, like Brandon Aubrey. I'll stick with him no matter what. I'm just gonna stick with him. I know he's gonna at least get me 5 to 6 to 7, maybe even plus more points. But if you are streaming kickers, pay attention to the matchups. Make sure those matchups are tough, whereas the defense might be tough on the offense, so that way they'll get allow more field goal attempts opposed to whatever else. And then you could pick your kicker. But the kicker is just so weird. All right, let me tell you about the kickers, right? The kickers are weird because this week, as kicking, Cairo Santos led kickers with 19 points. Matt Gay from Washington, 18 points. Chase McLaughlin, 16 points. I'm just reading you the top 5. Jason Myers, 14 points from Seattle. And then here comes old man Harrison Bucker with 13 points from the Kansas City Chiefs. But check this out. Week 3, even different. Like week 3, Chase make sure I get this right. Hold on, let me just put this in the right thing. All right, I was right. Chase McLaughlin was number 1 week 3, Jason with 21 points. Jason Myers was number 2 with 17 points. Joshua Carty from the Rams, 17 points.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzgerald from Carolina. They ain't put up any points last week, but in week 3, 15 points. And then Matt Gay from Washington. So the consistency I'm seeing, Matt Gay right up here. If he's available, you might want to pick him up. Chase McLaughlin, top 5 back-to-back weeks. And then Jason Myers, top 5 back-to-back weeks. So you might want to pay attention to that trajectory if you're going to do the streaming for kicking. That's just kind of how I kind of rock. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Rick? We see you out there. Sonia says, I look at the kicker and who they playing. Bam. That's it. I feel the team can get midfield, and if the defense can get a stop, kicker is important depending on who they're playing. I know it's gambling. I agree. I do this, but I also look for consistency in the top 5 as kicking. So
I like that.
Everybody has a dope strategy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a dope strategy, and just use if it works for you. Rock, freaking with it. That's your waiver wire targets for week 5. Let's get to some real quick must sit scenarios, and let's start with the Thursday night football game. All right. So Peachy, you've got to start or sit one of the two. Are you starting Christian McCaffrey, or are you starting Kyron Williams? And guys in the chat, you can put your answers in the chat too. You thought these was gonna be cakewalks, huh? Nah, son. Nah.
You know what? Because I have versatile Christian McCaffrey, I'm still going to start Christian McCaffrey because the 49ers are going to need Christian McCaffrey to do a little bit of everything, even throw the ball, actually, as well, probably. So all of them. Because he is going to be able to play like a receiver, which he's been doing a really good job at. And so definitely a big one for a PPR. So I'm going to start McCaffrey.
Yeah, like PPR, McCaffrey is getting the touches. I mean, he's getting the targets, excuse me. And he's getting those easy check downs for reception. So, regardless if McCaffrey's putting up 100 yards,
Right.
he's getting you 20 plus points every single week. You want to talk about consistency? You're getting 20 plus points from him every single week. And if he could just get one explosive run to catapult him into that 100-yard category, it's a wrap. And if he can get you a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Big Daddy Niner says he's starting Williams, Kyron Williams. Now, Kyron Williams is another dynamic back. That's why I asked that question. So, Thursday Night Football, we're going to do the prime time games as well as Minnesota versus the Vikings. Are you starting the Vikings defense or the Cleveland Browns defense?
They're the Browns defense.
Oh, I like that. Yo, she says she's starting the Browns defense. Shoot, only thing from the Browns you gonna start in your life. All right, let's.
That's it.
All right, you ready for this? All right, let's go to the next prime time game. We got Sunday Night Football. You got the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. AFC East matchup for sure. All right, let me see if I can dig into the crates for this one.
Okay, while you're doing that, Daniel Garcia said who they playing. It's Browns Vikings, and it's an overseas game in England.
Yeah.
So it's an early game.
I think that's
it's
what he
like
was
a
talking
9:30
about.
game or whatever he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
9:30 in the morning. All right. Let's see. I got to get a player from the Patriots. Are you starting? Are you starting Keon Coleman, wide receiver, or Kayshawn Booty?
You know what? Buffalo's defense does not look that great. So I'm gonna go with the booty.
Booty, booty. Oh, I didn't mean to do it like that. My bad. Yeah, but Kayshawn, he's their guy. He's their guy. I don't know, Coleman. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
That's a tough one. I'm sorry. That was more tough than I thought. All right, Monday Night Football, must sit, must start. You ready? Oh, damn. All right. Let's go with the tight ends.
Oh no.
Brenton Strange has touchdowns in like every single game.
I knew you was gonna do that.
And so would you start Brenton Strange over Travis Kelce?
I knew you was gonna do that.
I like it. I like what we doing. This is fun. All right, we got one Kelce in the chat. Daniel says Kelce. It's hard to go away from Travis Kelce, but are you looking at the production that you're getting now versus the production you're hoping to rekindle?
But see, I would go with Strange, and the reason why is because I feel like that Kansas City has like getting all their wide receiver targets back.
Okay.
And not to mention the backup tight end for Kelce. He's also getting a lot of work. I really feel like that Travis Kelce is starting to kind of slow down a little bit. Him and Pat Mahomes, it's just, I don't know what it is. I just think it's just because, he's probably just working on other things with other players and whatever. But it just doesn't look the same. And Strange is just a constant. Like, he's been a constant.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how the Chiefs are against tight ends, but I'm definitely going to go with Strange.
Strange had 10.5 points last week against the Niners defense, and Travis Kelce had 9.8 points against the Ravens defense. So she went with Strange. I'm not mad at you. That's your must sit, must start. Beep, beep. Who got the keys to my mother freaking Jeep? All right, man. We done broke the glass on that one. Let's go.
Let's not forget also, you guys, because I had a front row seat to it. Jacksonville, man, they have a really, really good defense.
Yeah, they do when it comes to generating turnovers.
Exactly.
But I'm convinced if they don't get turnovers, they can't win games.
Hey, Cynthia. Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I do agree that their defense, as far as turning the ball over, is really good, but they still, and they're good at stopping the run. So I will put that out there. They held us to 83 yards. But you could throw on them. And so that kind of changes the game a little bit. So I would be leery of Jacksonville's defense. They got to play the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to play the Chiefs the same way they play the Niners because the quarterback's name is Patrick Mahomes.
That's true. That's a good point.
It just be weird like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It'd be weird like that. All right, let's get to some fantasy football Q&A. What's your fantasy football Q&A? Peachy, you got any questions out there? Hey, Miss Sin, how you doing?
So we got a comment from
AJ.
AJ. I think I messed up bad. I just traded JSN and Emeka Ibuka for Nico and Jamar. Where's your music, Breeze?
What you need to hear? Hold on.
The
scary thing. I mean, I don't know if you messed up bad. I'm gonna tell you like this: the Texans' offense isn't the same Texans' offense, and they don't have an offensive line to protect C.J. Stroud to save his life. They just traded Cam Robinson.
I was going to say they keep trading his. Like, are they trying to kill my boy C.J.? Because you keep trading people. You're complaining about the offensive line and everything, about the protection and how the protection. But every time you turn around, there's a trade, and it's somebody who is from the O-line that is getting traded. So it's like, what are you doing?
I can't call it,
I
man.
understand it, D'Amico.
And
what's going on there?
And so, if you know who Nico Collins is, he's a down the field explosive play guy down the field. I think you didn't mess up bad. And I got to talk about Jamar Chase. And it's unfortunate that he lost his quarterback. But I think I'm going to be trying to I got T. Higgins. I think I'm going to put him on a trade block. Like you can't wait for these guys to produce. Fantasy football season is not as long as the regular NFL season.
Thank you for saying that, Breezy, because I think everybody needs to understand that, because I really think there are some people that do not understand that. Fantasy football does not last as long as the regular season, which means that you gotta, man, I'm telling you, you guys have really got to pay attention. Like people are talking about with Joe Burrow probably back about week 8 or week 9.
Yeah, that's you're damn near getting into your playoffs
your season
in 4 more weeks.
Oh, right. Your season is damn near over if you're waiting that long. I'm telling you, trust me, who has Jamar Chase almost on every single lineup that I have. He got to go. Because I cannot. I mean,
if it's
they broken my heart. Him, Brown, Higgins, like
the dominant guys.
None of them are able to do anything between that whack offensive line that they have. They got Joe Burrow hurt in the first place. And Browning, who is not able to take a solitary step without getting waxed.
Yeah,
like,
the stuff we're seeing from Jake Brown and Peachy is not his fault.
He's
not,
of course
for one,
not.
He's not Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the awareness of Joe Burrow. And the moment he hikes the ball, he's screaming and running for his life.
He's not protected at all.
And so I mean, this is the Cincinnati Bengals. They might have the second worst offensive line in the NFL next to Houston. So I can't wait till those two teams play. You know what I mean? But those offensive lines are horrendous. And so, I mean, Chase Brown is still getting the carries. He just can't rush. He can't
Exactly. He can't move.
He can't move.
do
I thought we were bad. And he probably averages 1.6 yards per carry.
so bad.
So you have to. I understand because there's value. But let me say this again: if this is not a keepers league, you drop his ass. Like you don't drop him, you trade him. You traded him. I wouldn't drop Jamar.
Right.
I would
No.
just put him on the bench.
Yeah,
but I would
trades
definitely
him.
put him on the trade block.
Yeah.
And you're getting JSN and Emeka Ibuka. Those guys are getting the targets. And so this is PPR. You need targets. You need targets and receptions.
Yeah.
Prime example, Christian McCaffrey. If he gets 10 targets a game and gets me at least 6 to 7 to 8 of those, that's 6 points right there, along with the yardage he gets from receiving, plus the yards he gets from rushing.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets a touchdown. So targets are key in PPR. I almost don't want to play PPR anymore after this. Like it's just so because you draft differently, and it makes it harder. So I don't think you messed up. I think you're understanding that I need to win now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a win now trade.
Right.
The value's not as great. You got beat in value, but if you're winning, man, fuck that value.
Exactly. Amen to that. Low the Truth 81 says, I snatched Jonathan Taylor and Jacobs at the end of the first and the first pick in the second.
You a smart man.
Yes, very
My
smart.
dumb ass was drafting wide receivers.
We're worried about trying to
We were worried about trying to make sure we had wide receivers, not realizing that this was going to be the running back year. And you picked the two of the top 5 running backs in the league.
Yes, 100%. Sonia says, I have Pittman, Metcalf, Shakir, and Chris Evans.
Read the first part, though. She says, I have Derrick Henry. I'm already not feeling his points per game, and now Lamar is injured. Should I think about trading? I would put him on the trade block. He's going to get the thing. All right. So if Lamar's not there, they're going to play the run. So he's not going to be able to break and bust off for those big explosive runs that you're normally used to seeing him get, because the threat of that quarterback is gone. They're going to be playing Cooper Rush for the next. Hold up. Now, I don't know. We didn't talk about this. If Lamar doesn't play this Sunday, that means he's not playing next Sunday because their bye week is after that.
Exactly.
So they're going to give him 3 weeks off.
I think he's coming back after the bye week. That's what I think.
And if I'm and Sonia, if to be fair, if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm not going to overwork Derrick Henry. Hey, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, let's get out there, because they only got 1 win. That's bad. And then if they don't win on Sunday and then they lose again, this team is done.
Yeah.
So you might want to try to move on from him if you can.
I agree.
Let him be somebody else's problem. Your Achane, Mason, they can hold it down, especially Achane, because he's going to be a target in the backfield. So they can hold it down, and you can always pick up who you going to trade Derrick Henry for. Pick up a running back. Get another running back. Just not Chase Brown.
Right. So then she says, I might need help in the wide receiver room as I have Pittman, Metcalf, Shakir, Chris, and Evans.
Yeah, you don't have Mike Evans is hurt. That's hurting you.
Yep.
Who's Chris?
Olave.
Nah, he got a touchdown last week, but they still figuring it out.
Yeah, they
Metcalf,
really
explosive play, touchdown, then he was done. And Pittman, you may want to look into finding out which receiver you can get for Derrick Henry. But the Derrick Henry value, I would guarantee you, is going to go down because he's not producing. So see what you can get. I would definitely try to upgrade this room.
Oh, so
Did
she
I say
said
Chris Evans?
no. What it was is it said Chris Evans. I thought that she was saying Chris Olave, but she made a mistake. It was actually Mike Evans. So she
Oh,
was
okay. Because I
saying,
thought she said Chris. Right.
yes, I
Okay.
was thinking Olave, Chris,
Yeah.
but it was okay.
You
Okay.
and them Ohio State, they be on your mind every single week. Like it's Ohio State, Ohio State. Like all the Chris's in the NFL, the only one she could think of was Olave. That was the first one that came to mind. Um, it's just Daniel says get Woody Marks. Yeah, that was our waiver wire target
Yes.
pickup for sure. And I do like the fact that Peachy said that there's a possibility of Joe Mixon returning. And I think they move away a little bit from, if he does return, I think you kind of move on from Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is not Nick Chubb. He's
Right.
not the Nick Chubb that we know.
If you ask me, like I don't know, I haven't heard anything about it. I'm wondering if Chubb might be a little bit banged up and they are limiting some of the things that he does because they're trying to salvage him because the Texans are like the 49ers. They're always having someone who gets hurt. So maybe that's what's going on. And that's why Woody Marks is seeing a lot more of the football because maybe they're just going to limit Chubb as to what he can do and bring him out there for like, downs or something like that and let Woody Marks, take the majority of the reps.
I will say this: if Woody has an explosive player too, this is what they needed to see. This is how guys lose their jobs in the NFL.
That's right.
And Big Daddy Niner says, how would you run CMC on Thursday? And what other back would you let run Thursday to give CMC a break? I don't want to see him get hurt because we will be done. All right. How would you run CMC on Thursday against the Rams defense?
I would run CMC more like the pass catcher. As much as possible, treat him more like a wide receiver and use B-Rob more, Brian Robinson Jr. more as the actual, specific running back to kind of break up the monotony of that. That way you catch the Rams defense off guard and they don't know, like what's going on. That's what I would do.
Them cats would be in the backfield just as much as they in the backfield with Christian McCaffrey. I don't. He's not being overworked. I don't know why people keep saying that. Like, does he take big hits? Yeah. Like, but he's not being overworked. I mean, the dude is getting targets and he's getting 15 to 17 carries per game. Where's the overworking at? This is a game you got to win. And you need CMC on the football field all the time.
You're right.
And you take him off the field, you made it that much easier because now the teams know you're not throwing to Brian Robinson. And so that's what Christian McCaffrey brings. He can split out of the backfield, you empty set, can go out for a pass. He's your best receiving back. And so I think it comes down to those two guys. Now, this being a short week, I would like to see them add a third guy into the rotation.
That'd be 100% awesome. So who would you put out there?
I think you go with Garendo. Like, I don't know why
I
people are
agree.
so down on Isaac Garendo. Who cares if he sucks on special teams? He didn't suck on offense, and the Niners need explosiveness. He's the one guy that can take a play and take it to the house. And so that's what we're seeing around the NFL. You're seeing these young players make a person miss because they still have explosiveness. So what? They don't know the game. They don't have all the blocking schemes. They don't have the understanding of the offense. What they do understand is how to run fast as fuck, right? That's what they get. That's what they have. That's what Amarian Hampton ain't the best running back in the league. He just had a great game because he keeps getting reps.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty,
I
it took
agree.
him how long to have the game he had?
Oh, yeah.
And he's a way better running back than Isaac Garendo. But I don't see the Raiders Nation talking shit about their running back. It's like, he got to get the reps. I think this would be a good time to add explosiveness. That doesn't necessarily mean, though, you lessen the workload
Right.
for Christian McCaffrey. You need him out there because the defense has to game plan for him. So you want him on the football field as much as possible. I think Brian Robinson comes in and spells him, but as a third down back, we're third and long, third and whatever. I think you put Isaac Garendo out there. Why not? Why not?
I got you. That makes sense. Let's see. Big Daddy Niner says, "What's up, family? We need this win. What are your thoughts?"
Yeah, from a Niners perspective, they just got to go out there with their game plan and make adjustments. I tell you what, if the Niners can play, not turn the ball over, their chances of winning are through the roof. If they do turn the ball over, it's gonna be the same shit, different story, man. It's a different day, whatever you say. It's literally going to be that. Because the Niners, when they turn the ball over, if they don't get a turnover back, it's that much harder.
Yes.
And so they only lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars because they turned the ball over 4 times. And if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they only scored off of the Niners' mistakes. The 2 interceptions, the fumble. The fumble took 48 yards to the house. So, I mean, I'm really high on the game. I just hope that the injuries, I'll know more from practice, but the injuries may be just too great for the Niners to win a game like this. Because I think if you thought some of those other games we played were gritty, this is going to be the grittiest game of the season for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes, it is. It's literally going to take the heart of every single one of these 49er players. Talking to you, special teams. It's going to take all.
They made mistakes.
It's literally going to take everybody. Tomorrow night, we will actually be covering this on Nitty Gritty Niners.
For sure. Yeah, tune in tomorrow night, 9 o'clock.
Tune in, we all 49ers, and we will be talking about this game and previewing everything. And hopefully we'll know a little bit more by the time we get ready to do the show. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Great fantasy show, man. Make sure you pick up the guys we talked about on the waiver wire and get your waivers in, because you know what? If I was in the league with Sonia, I'd probably be all jacked up because she got her waivers in probably at the butt crack of dawn. Like I was trying to get my waivers in this morning, Peachy, like 8 o'clock, and they weren't working. And I was like, oh, damn, they need to update the scores so I can get my waivers in, because I take the waivers this may be the first season that I take waiver wire very serious. Like,
you have to.
Wow. First season that I'm actually taking it like it's a thing. Like it's a real thing. First, we just talk about pickup players that have good weeks. No, there's science to this. So it's a thing. Miss Sin said she did hers. It's a must. It's a must. And I've never, Peachy, when have I ever requested a trade?
I know.
I'm requesting trade. I'm struggling.
Me too.
And I'm trying to
struggle bus all around. It's just a man, and all my leagues, they're so bad. Lord have mercy, they so bad. I was telling Breezy that my quarterback that I had was Michael Penix Jr. because of what happened to Joe Burrow, so I was able to pick him up. And he's on the bye week. So guess who my next quarterback is? Jake Browning. So I am looking for a quarterback.
You better get Spencer Rattler, Sam Darnold. They got a tough matchup, so I don't know where you want to go, but I'll take my chances. Rattler versus the Giants over Darnold versus that defense he got to face this week.
Man,
they got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got a good defense.
Tough sledding right now.
Yeah,
tough sledding. So the last thing we got is from Miss Sonia trying to pick up Darren Waller, Justice Hill, Arizona defense in that order, hoping I wake up to a present or two in the AM. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you do too, girl.
All the players you tried to get, I tried to get, but that's why I said I'm glad we're not in the same league. I thought I was the only one looking at the Arizona Cardinals defense. That's the funny part.
Nope.
How come nobody's picking the freaking who the Saints playing? The Saints are playing the Giants. Nobody picking the Giants defense. Saints are 0-4. Let me stop giving out my strategies, all right? Next time y'all want a strategy, y'all got a super chat. Oh, Josh came in here. Do I trade Montgomery for DK Metcalf? Hell no.
No.
Listen, I know Montgomery had a bad week last week, but he's prone to have more good weeks.
He'll rebound.
Didn't they
He'll
play
be fine.
Cleveland?
Yes, they played the Browns defense, and you just have to play them a special way. Montgomery just wasn't in their plans for that team, but Montgomery is definitely inserted, and the coaches said it a million times. He's definitely a major part of that offense. Sometimes depending on the defense, just like when we talk about matchups for fantasy and whatever, it just depends on who you face and what their strengths are on that offense. But Montgomery, no. Mm-mm.
I know it's tough because they got 2 running back system that they use, so I kind of get where you're coming from with it. But here's the thing. They played the Cleveland Browns defensive front, and Montgomery is not going to be able to overpower that defense. They're built different up front. Now, you got other guys. If let's just say they were playing the Niners, because that's my team. I would start that motherfucker all day. Because I just don't think we're as strong up front. There's a lot of defensive fronts that aren't built to the way Montgomery runs. He looks to enforce his power and will on teams.
Case in point.
Yeah.
Detroit faces the Cincinnati Bengals defense this week. Montgomery is going to have a big week. And when we come back next week, we'll be talking about him because he will be in that top 10.
And I heard Trey Hendrickson is dealing with an injury.
Exactly.
So
it's called I want to get the
freak out of here. Yeah. He did a Tyreek Hill. He better not pull a Tyreek Hill. We trying to trade for that motherfucker.
Right.
Nah, but guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. You guys rocked out with us for 1 hour and 16 minutes of us just talking what we love to do, and that's fantasy football. We appreciate you. We'll see you back next week, Tuesday, same time. Hopefully it'll be at 9 p.m. and not 10 p.m., but it all comes down to that traffic, man. Comes down to that traffic. Love you guys. Peace out.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.